القدس يا رب العالمين. اللهم اجعله داعيا إلى كتابك والقائم بدينك. استخلفوا في الأرض وكما استخلفت الذي من قبله فمكن له دينه الذي ارتضيته له. أبدله من بعد خوفه أمنا يعبدك لا يشركوا به شيئا. اللهم عزه وعزز به، وانصره وانتصر به، وانصره نصرا عزيزا، وافتح له فتحا يسيرا، واجعله له من لدنك سلطانا نصيرا. اللهم أزهر به دينك وسنة نبيك، حتى لا يستخفي بشيء من الحق مخافة أحد من الخلق. اللهم إنا نرغب إليك في دولة كريمة تعز به الإسلام وأهله، وتذل بها النفاق وأهله، وتجعلنا فيها من الدعاة إلى طاعتك والقادة إلى سبيلك، وترزقنا بها كرامة الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم ما عرفتنا من الحق فحملنا، وما قصرنا عنه فبلغنا. اللهم المم به شعثنا، واشعب به صدعنا، وارتق به فتقنا، وكثر به قلتنا، وعذذ به ظلتنا، وأغن به عائلنا، وأقض به عن مغرمنا، واجبر به فقرنا، وسد به قلتنا، ويسر به عسرنا، وبيض به وجوهنا، وفك به أسرنا، وأنجز به طلبتنا، وأنجز به مواعيدنا، واستجب به دعوتنا، وأعطنا به سؤلنا، وبلغنا به من الدنيا والآخرة أمالنا، واعتنا به فوق رغبتنا يا خير المسؤولين وأوسع المعتين. اشف به صدورنا، واذهب به غيظ قلوبنا، واهدنا به لما اختلف فيه من الحق بإذنك، إنك تهدي من تشاء إلى صراط مستقيم. وانصرنا به على عدوك وعدونا إلى إله الحق. آمين. اللهم إنا نشكو إليك فقد نبينا صلواتك عليه وآله، وغيبة ولينا، وكثرة عدونا، وقلة عددنا، وشدة الفتن بنا، وتظاهر الزمان علينا. فصل على محمد وآله، وأعنا على ذلك بفتح منك تعجله، وبضر تكشفه، ونصر تعزه، وسلطان حق تظهره، ورحمة منك تجللناها، وعافية منك تلبسناها، برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم برحمتك في الصالحين فأدخلنا، وفي عليين فارفعنا، وبكأس من عين سلسبيل فاسقنا، ومن الحور العين برحمتك فزوجنا، ومن الولدان المخلدين كأنهم لؤلؤ مكنون فأقدمنا، ومن ثمار الجنة ولحوم الطير فأطعمنا، ومن ثياب السندس والحرير والاستبرق فألبسنا، وليلة القدر حج بيتك الحرام، وقتلا في سبيلك فوفق لنا وصالح الدعاء ومسألته فاستجب لنا. وإذا جمعت الأولين والآخرين يوم القيامة فارحمنا، وبراءة من النار فاكتب لنا، وفي جهنم فلا تغلنا، وفي عذابك وهوانك فلا تبتلنا، ومن الزقوم والضريع فلا تطعمنا، ومع الشياطين فلا تجعلنا، وفي النار على وجوهنا فلا تكببنا، ومن ثياب بالنار وسرابيل القطران فلا تلبسنا، ومن كل سوء يا لا إله إلا أنت، بحق لا إله إلا أنت، فنجنا فنجنا فنجنا. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم إني أسألك وأن تجعل فيما تقضي وتقدر من الأمر المحتوم في الأمر الحكيم، من القضاء الذي لا يرد ولا يبدل، أن تكتبني من حجاج بيتك الحرام، المبرور حجهم، والمشكور سعيهم، المغفور ذنوبهم، المكفر عن سيئاتهم، وأن تجعل فيما تقضي وتقدر أن تطيل عمري في خير وآفية، وتوسع في رزق وتوسع في رزقي، وتجعلني ممن تنتصر به لدينك، ولا تستبدل بي غيري. أعوذ بجلال وجهك الكريم أن ينقضي عني شهر رمضان، أو يطلع الفرج من ليلة هذه، ولا قبلي تبعة أو ذنب تعذب عليه. اللهم صل على محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إلهي وخف السائلون ببابك، ولاذ الفقراء بجنابك، ووقفت سفينة المساكين على ساحل بحر جودك وكرمك، يرجون الجواز إلى ساعة رحمتك ونعمتك. إلهي إن كنت لا ترحم في هذا الشهر الشريف إلا من أخلص لك في صيامه وقيامه، فمن للمذنب المقصرين إذا غرق في بحر ذنوبك وآثامه. إلهي إن كنت لا ترحم إلا المطيعين، فمن للعاسين، وإن كنت لا تقبل إلا من العالمين عاملين، فمن للمقصرين. إلهي ربح السائلون، وفاز القائمون، ونجا المخلصون، ونحن العبيدك المذنبون، فارحمنا برحمتك، واقتقنا من النار بعفوك، واغفر لنا ذنوبنا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
محمد وآل محمد صلوات
اللهم صل على محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين، ثم الصلاة والسلام والتحية والإكرام على خاتم النبيين وسيد المرسلين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين، لا سيما على الإمام المنتظر وحجة الله الثاني عشر ابن العسكري المنتظر، ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الكريم القرآن الحكيم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان. صلوات. Before we commence today's lecture, apparently I've been asked to announce the recitation of Surah Fatiha for the Isale Sawab of Marhuma Nasreen Riza binti Sayyid Hassan Riza and Marhum Sayyid Fazl Ali ibn Sayyid Askari Hassan and تمام مرحومين مرحومات के लिए رحم الله من قرأ الفاتحة. ومحمد وآل محمد صلوات. So, while they're arranging the technical stuff, I'd like to take you where we had stopped last night. Last night we were discussing about the importance and the maqam of Ashab Kahf. And we highlighted to you how this entire group of individuals are so close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. कुछ ऐसी खुसूसियतें हैं उनमें कि परवरदिगार आलम को इतनी भा गई जिसकी वजह से जो है वो not only he put the entire event into the Quran, and you realize it from the time of Hadrat Adam and Iblis till the time of today, till the time when the Quran was being revealed, hundreds and thousands of such instances would have taken place. Not all of those instances are in the Quran. So there must be something in this instance, in this incident of Ashab Kahf, that Allah liked so much and He wanted to pass on this message to you and me, that He picked it up and put it into the Quran. So that's point number one. Point number two, not only did He put it into the Quran, but He named that entire surah on the name of the people of Ashab Kahf. But itself goes to show, with all the points that are there in that surah, the thing that He really wants us to focus most on, in addition to the other points, is the incident of Ashab Kahf, and hence the surah is named Suratul Kahf. And the third thing we mentioned, the maqam of these individuals. And aapko pata hai, you've heard it, you've been hearing it for such a long time, that not every Tom, Dick and Harry will be allowed to come back into Raj'ats when the arrival of Imam Zaman Ajjalallahu Ta'ala Farajahu Shaheed takes place. Not everybody would be able to do that. Only khullas min al mu'mineen, those mu'mineen whose iman is absolutely khalis. What has happened to these individuals who were not only who were not from the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they were not from the ummah of the Holy Prophet. They were in the time which we refer to as Zamanul Fatrat. Zamanul Fatrat is that 600 odd years from the ascension of Hadrat Isa and the arrival of the Holy Prophet. In this period of 600 odd years, that when Allah lifted Hadrat Isa to the skies till the time the Wiladat of the Holy Prophet, this period is referred to as Zamanul Fitrat or Fatrat. Fatrat means this is that period in which no Nabi was sent by God. Awliya were there, Awsiya was there, Hujjats of Khuda, representatives were there, but no Nabi on which the Shariat could be sent down. This individual is not from the ummah of the Holy Prophet. This individual was from the ummah, these individuals were from the ummah of Isa alayhi salam. In a time when there is no prophet, yet something about them God likes so much that He said, your iman is so pure that I will make you like those who are of the iman of the Holy Prophet. Your iman is of such a level that if I bring Salman, I will bring you. If I bring Miqdad, I will bring you. If I bring those 15 people whose iman were absolutely pure at the time of Hadrat Musa, I'm going to bring you. So this is the rank of Ashab Kahf. Yesterday when we stopped, I mentioned to you that I'm going to present to you one other aspect whereby by means of Ashab Kahf, the Holy Prophet sought to prove and establish the bila fasliyat of Amirul Mu'mineen alayhi salam. यानी अजब है, यानी आप देखिए तमाम मराहिल में जो है वो सबसे जो है वो हसास तरीन मौके पर जो है हमें नज़र आता है कि ये अफराद को जो है आगे किया जाता है परवरदिगार आलम की तरफ से. And you will hear this incident, and this incident is अजीब because इस वाक़े के ज़रिए से जो है वो रसूल खुदा चाहते कि तारीख़ में मुंदरज हो जाए. It gets recorded in history that an incident took place in which the very people who were opposing Amirul Mu'mineen were the ones who actually accepted the bila fasliyat of Amirul Mu'mineen. But pay attention to this. देखिए वाक़या जो है वो शेख कफ़अमी अपनी किताब में नकल करते हैं, अल्लामा मजलिसी अपनी किताब में नकल करते हैं, मुक़द्दस अर्दबीली अपनी किताब में नकल करते हैं. और ये वाक़या जो है, this incident takes place in the dates that have come is the 21st of Dhul Hijjah or the 27th of Dhul Hijjah. Either one of these two dates, this incident takes place. And what does this incident is? This incident is about a narration by one man by the name of Anas ibn Malik. You must have heard about Anas ibn Malik. Anas ibn Malik was one of the servants, ghulam abd of the Holy Prophet. He was in the household of the Holy Prophet till the Holy Prophet passed away. Something happened after the Holy Prophet passed away. Dunya ki muhabbat, dunya ki khishaw, dunya ka glitter and dazzle. He shifts priorities from Amirul Mu'mineen to the other side. And this became very pronounced after Saqifa. So he moves over. इसीलिए जो है हमारे रावियीन, हमारे मराजे, those traditions of Anas ibn Malik, they don't accept him. Why they don't accept him, you'll hear in this incident. Anas ibn Malik ki silsile mein, it is said that at the time when he died, he was overcome by 3 major diseases. One, he was covered with leprosy. Juzam कहता है ना, बरस की बीमारी, leprosy. White patches all over his face. Second, he was blind. He had turned blind. And second, he would always complain of massive pain in his stomach. और रिवायत है कि ये इन तीनों बीमारियों की वजह से और लेते हुए दुनिया से चला गया. अब इसका सरचश्मा, where it originated, listen to this. And then I will mention one thing on my workshop on Friday. Keep this in mind, and then I'll come back to you on Friday with a little explanation in that workshop. रिवायत जो है वो इब्न जोदा की है. रावी जो है, he's Ibn Joda. Ibn Joda says, I came to Basra. Anas ibn Malik, after the passing away of the Prophet, had moved to Basra. Uh, and he used to move front and back. He's saying, I went into a gathering where Anas ibn Malik was there. And those days, Anas ibn Malik was regarded very heavily. Oh, Ghulam, one of the servants of the Holy Prophet, one of the very close companions of the first Khalifa, second Khalifa, third Khalifa. तो एक नाम जो है वो दुनियाई शोहरत हासिल कर चुका था. And he was sitting, people surrounded him. Ibn Joda says, I came to him, I sat down, and istiqbal hua, and I asked Anas ibn Malik, yeah, Anas ibn Malik, I have a question for you, because whenever I see you, there's this question that keeps coming into my mind. Can I ask you? He said, yes, ask me. He says, you are the companion. He says, we have this tradition, I've heard this tradition, that the Prophet has said that परवरदिगार आलम कभी जो है मोमिनीन को, जिसका ईमान साफ हो, मोमिनीन को will never afflict him with the disease of leprosy. How is it that you are the servant of the Prophet? You were with the Holy Prophet, you were with the Khulafa, the Khalifa Awal, the Thani. Why is it that you've developed this patch? Signs of leprosy. Whereas we keep hearing the Prophet says, Is ummat mein parwardigar alam mu'minin ko is bimari se mahfuz rakhega. So you, the servant, he says, he puts his head down, tears come down his eyes. This is a result of the curse and nifreen of Abd Saleh, Amirul Mu'minin salawatullah wa salamu alayhi. सुनिएगा, ये अमीरुल मोमिनीन की दुआ की वजह से है. अलैया, हमेशा अरबी में दुआ अल्लाह यानी नेक दुआ, दुआ अलैया यानी बद्दुआ. So everybody says, okay, now everybody is shocked. Anas ibn Malik, they regarded him as so close to the Prophet. Now he's saying, because of Amirul Mu'mineen's du'as alayhim, he's developed this. He says, what was the matter? He says, one day after the Dhuhr prayers, we were sitting with the Holy Prophet. As we were sitting with the Holy Prophet, a delegation, a group comes from far region. He doesn't mention the region. He says, a group came from far and they presented a carpet to the Holy Prophet. And this incident in historical texts is also referred to as Mu'jizatul Bisat. Bisat in Arabic means carpet. The Mu'jiza of the carpet. Now listen to this. It says these people came and gifted the Prophet carpets. Carpets, and the Prophet says, roll it out. So they rolled it out. Beautiful carpet. The Prophet says, thank you very much. Those people go away. Anas ibn Malik says, I was sitting over there. The Prophet says to me, Anas, go call these individuals I'm asking you to come. Understand the names of these individuals, yeah? He specifically picked out certain individuals. He said, Anas ibn Malik, go and call Abu Bakr, go and call Umar, go and call Uthman, go and call Zubair, Talha, Sa'ad ibn Abil Waqas, Abdul Rahman ibn Auf. Do these names strike a bell to you? Yes? Those people of the Shura, minus the first Khalifa. Yes? Just go call them. So Anas ibn Malik says, go call them. When I come back, I also find that Ali is also joined us. They're all sitting. At that time, the Prophet tells everybody, all of you all sit on this carpet. So the Prophet, the orders of the Prophet, everybody sits on the carpet. It was large enough for everybody to sit. Then he tells Ali, Ali, you come and sit on the carpet. So Ali comes and sits on the carpet. Then the Prophet says, the Anas ibn Malik says, servant. These are those big people, elite of Quraysh. Because of the orders, I came and sat down on the carpet. He says, at that time, the Prophet turns to, and I've given you references, yeah? Sheikh Kafami, Allama Madlisi, Maqaddasi Ardabili, I've got references, I can give you this. This is a very common, if you've not heard it, that's a different issue, but this Mu'jizatul Bisat is very common in one of the ways in which the Holy Prophet has highlighted the fadail of Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam. So when everybody sits over there, the Prophet turns to Ali and says, Ali, command the wind to take you on a journey, and you know where to go. So now, it was a code for everybody didn't understand. Command the wind to take you on the journey, you know where to go. So Amir al-Mu'minin says, Labbaik ya Rasulullah. He turns, he addresses the wind. He says, O wind, by the power of God, take us on a journey. Anas ibn Malik says, as soon as Amir al-Mu'minin said this entire carpet lifted. He lifted to the skies and he started moving. The entire carpet is moving and we are seeing things passing by. We are going forward at massive speed. And we are seeing things that we've never seen before, locations we've never seen before, massive places, massive regions. This entire carpet is moving. The wind is taking upon the orders of Amir al-Mu'mineen. You give orders, hawa ko ki tumhe le jaye. There's a nukat in this, there's a latif nukta in this. Every instance in this entire event is to highlight the fadilat of Amir al-Mu'mineen. So this Anas ibn Malik says, shocked. Suddenly this entire carpet is up and we are moving and going and going. It goes on and we are flabbergasted. We are stunned. The scenarios that we are seeing, the situation that we are seeing, the locale that we are seeing, we'd never experienced and seen those things. All of a sudden, Amir al-Mu'mineen announces to the wind, okay, lower us down at this place. See, I'm not running away. I'm not diverting. We are still with Ashab Kahf. This entire carpet lowers down. Imam tells everybody, get out. Everybody get down. Imam turns to them and says, do you know where we are? Says Amir al-Mu'mineen, we don't know. Ali, hame nahi pata hai kya, aap bataiye. But this place over there, then he points to a cave which is covered with a stone. Says, this is the ghar and the cave of Ashab al-Kahf. This is the cave of Ashab al-Kahf. So, we read in the Quran, the Prophet had told us, Ashab al-Kahf, that entire incident took place. Yes, because this is now in Medina. That incident, Surah al-Kahf was revealed in Makkah. So now everybody knows kya hua. This is Ashab al-Kahf. He says, yes. Says, Amir al-Mu'mineen says, these individuals have a great rank in the eyes of God. It befits us, we should go and give salams to them. So Amir al-Mu'mineen says, Ya Ashab Rasulullah, sallimha alayhim. Give salams to them. So one person goes, Salam alayka ya Ashab al-Kahf. Apply, no reply. The second one goes, Salam alayka ya Ashab al-Kahf, no reply. Third one goes, no reply. Abdurrahman ibn Auf goes, no reply. Sa'ad ibn Abi Waqqas goes, Talha goes, Zubair goes. Everybody says salam, there's no reply back. When there's no reply back, Anas ibn Malik felt, because I am the servant of the Holy Prophet, probably I could make a difference. So he says, Ya Ashab al-Kahf, Ana khadim Rasulullah, Assalamu alaikum. I am the servant of the Holy Prophet. My salams upon you. No reply. Everybody is stunned. We're sending salams, there's no reply coming. And Amir al-Mu'mineen said, this is the place of Ashab al-Kahf. Now when we come, you will hear that this was the very cave that they were then buried inside and the mouth was covered. As we go further, you will hear things. We're just starting this Ashab al-Kahf. We've not even started the main discussion on Ashab al-Kahf. So Amir al-Mu'mineen, this Anas ibn Malik goes and says, Ana khadim Rasulullah, ya Ashab al-Kahf, Salamun alaykum, no reply. Says, now they turn to the Ali and says, Ali, you're the only one remaining, you go. So he goes to them and says, Assalamu alayka ya ashab, that we, okay. The first verse that, उसका पासवर्ड कोई बता दे मुझे, इसको वो नेवर पे डिस्प्ले पर रख दीजिए कि. So we will see. So Amir al-Mu'mineen turns and says, Salaam alaikum, O Ashab al-Kahf, for whom Allah has, yeah, this one. No, okay, I'll handle it. Thank you. Yeah. أم حسبت أن أصحاب الكهف والرقيم كانوا من آياتنا عجبا. This is verse number 9. This is the first verse that starts the entire Surah Kahf. And Imam picks up the part of this last one. Min ayatina ajaba. Assalamu alayka ya ashab al-Kahf. My salams upon you, O ashab al-Kahf, alladhina kanu min ayatina ajaba, who are one of the strange signs of Allah. Riwayat tells us, जैसे ही मौला ने जो है वो सलाम कहा, वहां से जवाब है, वालेकुम सलाम या वसी रसूलल्लाह. हमारा सलाम आप पर, my salams upon, our salams upon you, O wasi of the Holy Prophet. Now everybody is stunned. One goes, two goes, three goes, Sa'ad ibn Abi Waqqas goes, Sa'id goes, Abdurrahman ibn Auf goes, Talha, Zubair, Anas ibn Malik, no reply. Amir al-Mu'mineen goes, La salamu alayka, immediately reply comes. So Riwayat tells us, Anas ibn Malik says, everybody stunned, flabbergasted, don't know what to do. Why is this? Why is the difference? It says, as we were thinking, Amir al-Mu'mineen himself asked him, Ya Ashab al-Kahf, what has happened? that when they answered, they asked, send salams upon you, you did not reply. But when I sent salams upon you, you replied. Says the answer, Anas ibn Malik says, I heard from inside the cave the sound coming, voice coming. Says, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, we have been ordered by God to only respond to the salams of either a Nabi or somebody who's the wasi of the Nabi immediately after him. And you, Ali ibn Abi Talib, are the immediate successor of the Holy Prophet. Ye baat ho gayi. Anas ibn Malik says, as soon as this was said, Amir al-Mu'minin turns to us and says, Ya Ashab Rasulullah, asami'atum, have you heard what the Ashab Kahf said about me? Ar-ra'aytum, did you see what I did when this carpet was supposed to go? You saw what I did, the carpet moved. You saw, you try to give salams, no reply. When I sent salam, the reply came with the reason that I am the successor of the Holy Prophet. Hal sami'atum? So yes, we've heard about it. Okay, let's go. Imam says, go onto the carpet again. Goes onto the carpet, announces again, oh, wind take us. Anas ibn Malik says again, all of us now on the carpet, the wind takes us. And he says, now they're taking to a place we just could not see what it was. A deep situation. Beautiful location, beautiful state. We've never seen anything like this. We kept going, absolutely stunned. Mabhoot ho gaya hum, ye nazara dekh ke. Till it became time for Maghrib. Ali says, it's time for Maghrib, it's time for prayers, let's get down. So we got down, Ali ordered the wind, the carpet settled down, we came out. So we saw land absolutely barren, no trees, no water, no nothing, and it's time for Maghrib. So Anas ibn Malik says, I approached Amirul Mu'minin and says, Ya Ali, we need to pray namaz, but there is no water over here. So Ali looks at him, and then he says, Anas ibn Malik is narrating this, huh? This is no somebody else. This is no Zurara. This is no Abu Basir. This is no Jabir ibn Abdullah Ansari. This is Anas ibn Malik. Anas ibn Malik. Listen to what happens to him. He says, Ali took his leg and he hit the heel onto the ground. As soon as he hit the heel onto the ground, water gushed out. Ali said, I'm doing wudu. Tell you also do wudu. They did the wudu. Ali did the wudu. Ali did the prayers. They followed him. But before, when they were doing wudu and they were going to pray, Ali turned to Anas ibn Malik and says, Ya Anas, you saw there was no water, yeah? He says, yes. You saw what I did, yeah? He says, yes. So had you waited and not been so aggressive in asking for water, Allah would have sent water from Jannah for wudu. But you didn't wait. So anyway, this instance takes place, the namaz is done. He says, after a long time, Ali finishes his taqibat. He says, now we need to rush back quickly because we should join the Prophet in the Jamaat for Salatul Subh. They sit back again. Ali orders, wind is coming, they're still stunned. Kya ho raha hai? Kya maqam hai? Masala kya hai? The entire carpet is moving. Mu'jisatul Basat. It's there on the internet. Allah, mashallah. If you don't find the books, at least there it's on the internet. The entire carpet moves. They reach Medina, the Prophet, it's time for Namaz al-Subh. The Prophet is leading the prayers. He's about to start the prayers. They reach in time. They join the prayers. Namaz finishes. Anas ibn Malik says, as soon as the Prophet finishes his namaz, he turns to me and says, Anas, have you returned? He says, Ya Rasulullah, I've returned. Then he's asking Anas, will you tell me what happened or you want me to tell you what happened? So Anas says, Ya Rasulullah, Rasulullah a'lam minna. The Prophet of God knows more than us. Tell us what we saw. Anas says, by God, the Prophet started to explain. He explained every single thing that we witnessed, every single thing that happened, every single salam that did not get responded to, every single salam of Ali that got responded to, every single thing he's saying, it was as if Rasulullah was with us on the journey. When if Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Says once this was done, Anas says, I'm shocked. But that was the Holy Prophet, Ilmul Ghaib. At that point of time, and now everybody's gathered, yeah, because now the Prophet is talking, he's explaining, everybody is listening. Puri ek jamiyat jo hai wo aas-paas mein namaz abhi khatam hui, sab jama ho chuke. As they've gathered, and this entire incident was described by the Prophet, Anas ibn Malik is now telling Ibn Jawda, who's asked him, why is this on her face? He's saying, at that point, the Prophet turned to me and says, Anas, I want to tell you one thing. He says, what? He says, a time will come in the future, and I'm seeing it, that this Ali will ask you to testify to the occurrence of this incident. He will ask you, there'll be a group sitting like we are sitting. I will not be there with you. But I'm seeing, and if a time will come when Ali will be sitting, you will be there will be other people, and Ali will tell you, Anas, acknowledge this event took place. Oh, Anas, will you testify that this event took place? So, Ya Rasulullah, definitely I will testify to it. He says, and will you testify how Ali took the carpets? He says, yes, I will testify. And will you testify why Ashab Kahf answered him and not answered you guys? He says, yes, I am there. He says, Anas, you've given me the word. Huh? He says, yes, Ya Rasulullah, you can rest assured I'm your servant, and abdika, and khadimuka, and fi khidmatika, and fulan, and all the formalities done. Khalas. Anas ibn Malik says the incident stopped over here. Fast forward, comes Thaqifa. Thaqifa comes, Ali is no longer the Khalifa. Khalifa goes to somebody else. He says, once that had happened and Abu Bakr had become the Khalifa, in one gathering that took place, Ali was there and he was stating his claim, this Khilafat is mine. Khilafat hamara haq hai. At that time, there was a lot of debate. Everybody was there. At that point of time, in order to prove his point, he says, there are people over here who are shahid to this fact that I am the wasi of the Prophet and bila fasliyat wasi. So people said, okay, who is it? So at that time, Anas ibn Malik says, Ali turns to me and says, Anas, you remember the promise that the Holy Prophet took from you, the wa'ada? He had said that a time will come when Ali will ask you to acknowledge this event. Anas, tell them what happened at that time when you answered, you sent salams to Ashab Kahf and they did not respond. And when I said they responded with the reason why they responded. Tell them. Anas ibn Malik, now tears are flowing down his eyes, yeah? He's saying at that time, sharait is tarah the ki agar to main is waqai ki himayat karta aur tasdeeq karta, to meri dunya jo hai tabah ho jati. I would have found my dunya gone. Because I was so close to those people, they would have removed me from all positions of power and money. So at that time I said, Ya Ali, I have become old and my memory is weak. I don't remember that incident. Amir al-Mu'minin turns and says, Anas, you had given your word to the Prophet. He had prophesied this day will come. He had said, I will not be there. Ali will be there, you will be there, a group will be there, and Ali will ask you to testify that this incident takes place. Anas, you can't turn back. He says, Ali, I've become old, I cannot. He says, Ali became very frustrated. Dil hazeen, dil kharaj. Says, at that point of time, Ali raises his hands and says, Allahumma in kana, oh Allah, if Anas ibn Malik is lying, then I pray to you, put the signs of falsehood and lying on his face for the rest of his life. Allah, if he is lying, take away the nur of his eyes just as the nur of his iman is gone from his heart. And Allah, subject him to the pain of stomach that never leaves him till he leaves this world. It says, wo dua Amirul Mu'minin ki aur ye mere surat ka hal. Riwayat tells us before he died, he became blind. And throughout the time that Nifreen of Amirul Mu'minin is there, he was always complaining of severe pains in the stomach. तो ये तीन बद्दुआ जो है अमीरुल मोमिनीन की मर्तदम तक मुझसे जो है जुदा नहीं हुई. You understand? So I had to complete this riwayat. The Shahid misal was this, that we are now not going back into the majlis mode or such. But because this riwayat had to be mentioned, it's a very important riwayat for the haqqaniyat and the bila fasliyat. Otherwise, I would have stopped right at the time when Ashab Kahf. The point over here to note before we start is that Ashab Kahf becomes so important that in order to prove the bila fasliyat of Amirul Mu'mineen, the Holy Prophet uses the Ashab Kahf to inform to the people, listen, they will not answer you. They will only answer one who is the rightful Janashin of man, which is Ali ibn Abi Talib. Anyway, having said that and understood what the surah is all about, and having understood the importance of these individuals, let's start off. I will just very quickly, first of all, take you through I know You're very willing and wanting to listen to the entire incident of Ashab Kahf. But I might have to push you on a little bit because it'll come tomorrow. The reason is this, that we can't go ahead of the Quran. Quran ka usloob, when it's talking about this entire story, is a very delicate one. And the delicate one is this, that the entire incident of Ashab Kahf goes from ayah number 9 to ayah number 23. Ayah number 26. So it keeps going down. But this entire event from number 9 to 26 is divided into two groups. And खुद परवरदिगार आलम इसको दो हिस्सों में और किस्तों में और किस्मतों में जो है डिवाइड करता है. एक जो है वो first 4 verses and then the remaining. I just wanted to have a look at the 4 verses, then I'll tell you what usloob Allah uses. देखिए तफसीर जो है ना, you can't just take a story and just move ahead. क्योंकि तफसीर के अंदर जो अल्फाज है ना, आप जानते हैं कुरान is a मोजज़ा. The whole Quran is a mu'jiza because it talks about sciences that people in those times did not have access to. It is mu'jiza in terms of sentence because of the eloquence, nobody can come close to it. And it is mu'jiza in terms of huruf because the secrets that are hidden in the structure of the huruf gives you such information that till you don't get them from the Ahlul Bayt, you'll never have access to it. And you will see as we go, we have to take a word by word as much as possible, and time will permit, to pass on the mysteries of the i'jaz of the Quran. So first let us go through the 4 verses initially that talk about Ashab Kahf, and then I will tell you why these 4 verses Allah has separated out. Look, that starts off with ayah number 9. Am hasibtum anna ashab al-kahf wa raqim kanu min ayatina ajaba. You have it over there, you can see the translation. It says, oh, do you think, hasibtum, do you think, anna ashab al-kahf wa raqim, the ashab al-kahf, the people of the kahf, those people that are referred to, the people of the cave, kanu min ayatina ajaba, are these the only people who are our strange signs? Then you're mistaken. Our signs are far more. This because they had a protracted period of time that they are sleeping. You think they are just ajib ayat? We've got ayats that are even more ajib. Had you come with the Prophet in Mi'raj, we would have shown you our ajib signs. The fact that the cut head of our wasi is now reciting tilawat, that is more ajib than the 300 plus years that somebody sleeps. Somebody can sleep for a long time, but somebody who's dead reciting the Quran atop a lance, that is more ajib. So don't think this is the only thing that is ajib just because the Jews have asked you the answers for it. Ayah number 10. Now, in a very brief form, what the Quran does is the Quran has an usloob when it wants to talk about something that is very important. Usloob means a manner of speaking, a manner of talking. So what it does is that normally it comes and says the whole thing openly. Ek saath mein keh dega. Openly. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Clear. Everything is very clear. But sometimes when it is very important, what he will do is he will summarize the whole story initially and then go to expand bit by bit. This is called ijmal and tafsil. So he summarizes the whole thing in the beginning, and then as the verses keep coming, he starts giving information more and more. Like Surah Al-Qadr. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inna anzalnahu fi laylatul qadr. We've revealed it in the night of Qadr. Then he says, you know what? وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ. तुम नहीं समझ सकते इसका इंपॉर्टेंस. लैलतुल कद्र तुम क्या जानो? Then now he's talked about the importance. Now slowly he starts opening it out. ये इतना इंपॉर्टेंट कि जो मैं परवरदिगार आलम कहता हूं, तुम क्या जानो लैलतुल कद्र क्या है? अब सुनो लैलतुल कद्र क्या चीज है. तनज़्ज़ुलुल मलाइकतु वर्रूहु फीहा. ये वो रात है कि मलाइका और रूह जो है फौज नाजिल होते हैं. खैरुम मिन अल्फ शहर. 1000 रातों से बेहतर है, 1000 महीनों से बेहतर है. इस रात में तनज़्ज़ुलुल मलाइकतु वर्रूहु फीहा बिइज़्नि रब्बिहिम मिन कुल्लि अम्र. तमाम कायनात के उमूर इस रात में तब्दील होते हैं, फैसले पाते हैं. You understand? So first he says, وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ. And I समझो बहुत important है. Now what is so important about it? It's better than 1,000 months. Angels come down. Your entire akhirat and dunya for this entire year that is coming is now being sorted out. इसको बोलते हैं ijmal, starting with some summary, and then tafsil, then it starts out. This Ashab Kahf का वाक़या इसी तरह है. पहले 4, the first 4 verses are ijmal. It gives you an opening and understanding, summarized version of what exactly took place. And then it starts breaking up. and water begins to break up. एक एक ऐसे ऐसे जो है नुकात है, आपका दिमाग जो है वो हैरान रह जाएगा. आई एम टेलिंग यू, छोटी छोटी चीजें बट गिव्स यू इंफॉर्मेशन. आप कहेंगे या खुदा, दिस थिंग नेवर इवन स्ट्रक अस. और ऐसी ऐसी डिटेल्स पूरे वाकये के बारे में. तो सुनिए, तो पहले जो है वो खुदाब करमाता है महसब अन्ना असहाबुल कहफ, एक इंट्रोडक्शन देता है कि असहाब कहफ थे, दे हैड अ वेरी extraordinary kind of situation with them, and they are our signs which are ajib, but we've got even more ajib signs. ये अभी सब तर्जुमा करते, तफसीर हम नहीं कर रहे हैं, अभी तफसीर आएंगी इंशाअल्लाह. आय नंबर 10, इद आवल. सबसे पहले ये जो है थोड़ा इश्तिबाह है टाइपिंग में, इट्स नॉट आ, वो मद्दा नहीं है, इट हैज टू बी फतहा. इद अवल फित्यतु. पढ़ लेते in Arabic, then I will translate and then I will take it up and start explaining it. إذ أول الفتية إلى الكهف, when the youths sought refuge in the cave, فقالوا ربنا آتنا من لدنك رحمة, give us rahmat from you, وهيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا, and provide for us a right course in our affair. So what happens is, in the second part he's taking very quick, fast forward. Says he's not mentioning what the details are, what circumstances took place, what happened that these people then gathered together. How many were there? What are the details? No details. Summary. Then as the next verses come, he starts opening up. After the 4 verses, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it says, if awal fityatu, these young youths, how many is not even talked about it? Ilal kahf, why did they come to the kahf? He's not talking about it. They just come and says, Rabbana atina min ladunka rahma, give us your rahmat, and provide us for a right course in our affair. What is their affair that they're asking the right course for? Inshallah, tomorrow we'll explain fully. Ayah number 11, فَضَرَبْنَا عَلَىٰ آذَانِهِمْ, we covered the ears. But we heard that they were sleeping in the grave. So why is he talking about covering the ears? Isme hikmat kya hai? Isme nukat kya hai? Why ears? You don't sleep with your ears, you sleep with your eyes. So here he's saying, فَضَرَبْنَا عَلَىٰ آذَانِهِمْ فِي الْكَهْفِ السِّنِينَ عَدَدًا. Then we sealed up their hearing in the cave for a number of years. Is there a mistake over here? Shouldn't he be saying, وَضَرَبْنَا عَلَىٰ أَعْيُنِهِمْ, their eyes. We closed their eyes so then they slept for several years. But he says, no, we didn't close their eyes. We closed their ears. Strange, but it will come. Adadan sinina adada, several years. How many years? This is just a summary. It will come further. Ayah number 12. ثُمَّ بَعَثْنَاهُمْ, and then we woke them up. لِنَعْلَمَ أَيُّ الْحِزْبَيْنِ أَحْسَى بِمَا لَبِثُوا مَدَدًا. So then we woke them up, and then what happened was they split into 2 groups. One said we slept for so many years, the second slept, we slept for so much time. And God says we woke them up to see, do they even remember or have an understanding of how much they slept? We just wanted to find out. Coming to number 13, now he starts. نَحْنُ نَقُصُّ عَلَيْكَ نَبَأَهُمْ. Now having given you the summary, the ijmal, نَحْنُ نَقُصُّ. نَقُصُّ comes from the word qissa. Now we are telling you the qissa. Alayka. We are telling you the qissa. Naba'ahum, their story. Bilhaq. It is haqqa. Annahum fityatun amanu bi rabbihim. Wazidnahum huda. These were youths that believed in your Lord, and we added to their iman. Okay, so let's come back to our tafsir. So having understood it, because the Quran has followed this usloob, that he started with the summary and then he says, وَنَحْنُ نَقُصُّ عَلَيْكَ نَبَأَهُمْ, we will tell you the story. We will follow the same usloob. We will tell you a little bit about the first 4 verses, which is a summary, and tomorrow we will tell you exactly what happened, where they lived, what position they hold, how many were they, what prompted them to leave, in their endeavor to leave, what was their objective, what happened when they came over here. The entire instance is narrated by Amirul Mu'mineen in one of a tradition which has been reported to us by the 6th Imam Sadiq Ali Muhammad Ja'far ibn Muhammad al-Sadiq. So let's come to this first one. Am hasibta anna ashab al-kahf wal-raqim kanu min ayatina ajada. I've read from the very beginning, I've said to you, this will not follow the normal majlis procedure. So we will keep turning back and coming back to verses so that we can highlight to you what important things that come into it. You see over here, am hasibtu anna ashab al-kahf wa raqim. Question comes, what is raqim? Ashab al-kahf, I know the people of the cave. Those people went and slept in the cave. But what is raqim? Well, the story goes like this. So they go into the cave, they go to sleep, with all the details that will follow. But after a certain number of years, when they're woken up, they wake up, and then the community, after 300 years that were there, they come to know that these people have gotten up. And after having gotten up, the world spreads like wildfire. Oh, these are the people we used to hear in our history books, in our madrasa, in our lessons, in our schools. These people have come back to life again. And then something happens as a result of which God gives them death. When God gives them death, there are two riwayat. One riwayat says the king at that time. The second riwayat says Allah closes the entrance to the cave. Now people will not have access to them. We showed you our signs. We showed you our qudrat. That's enough. Now you will have no access to these individuals. So the door is covered. The door of the cave, the entrance of the cave is covered. Nobody can move it. It's divine power. Nobody can move it. To make people realize that this is where the Ashab Kahf was, the king at that time inscribed, this is the place of the Ashab Kahf who slept for so many years, so many years, so many years. In Arabic, when you write something, it's called marqum. Urdu mein bhi kehta na, raqam, marqum. Because on the entrance of the grave was written about them, raqam liya gaya, marqum tha, they are also called Ashab al-Raqim, the people about whom inscriptions was made. Some am hasibta anna ashab al-kahf wal-raqim kanu min ayatina. It means the same thing. Second part now we come. But id awal fityatu, and probably I might have to end over here. Look at that word that I have highlighted, fitya. This is so beautiful. Id awal fityatu, awa means they took refuge. Id awal fityatu ila al-kahf. We'll only focus on this. And when these fitya is a plural form of fata. Fata means young person. La fata illa Ali, la sayfa illa zulfaqar. Fata means a young person. Allah is saying, وَإِذْ أَوَى الْفِتْيَةُ إِلَى الْكَهْفِ. Awa means they took refuge. Who took refuge? These young men. They took refuge in the cave. The problem is this, that fata is a young man. Fitya is the plural form. It is like qalam and aqlam. Yes, qalamun, aqlamun. Rajulun, rijalun. Plural and singular and plural. Fityatun, fata means one. Fityatun means many. The problem over here is إِذْ أَوَى الْفِتْيَةُ إِلَى الْكَهْفِ. He's telling us, remember the time when those young people took shelter into the cave. The problem is that these are not young people. They were middle-aged people, beyond 40. The question comes is then, why is God referring to them as a fitya? When Uhud में जब ये तलवार जुल्फकार नाजिल हुई तो जो है वो जिब्राइल ने जो है वो निदा लगाई, La fata illa Ali, la sayfa illa zulfaqar. That was appropriate because Ali was young at that time. But these people were not young at that time. Riwayat says the sixth Imam is sitting with his companions, or ye Surah Kahf ke jo hai wo zikr hua. So one of the companions turns to him and says, Yabna Rasulullah. This incident about Ashab Kahf, Quran says these were fitya, these were young people. So Imam says, what in your opinion is the meaning of fata and fitya? It says it appears that fitya means young people, fata means young person. So the sixth Imam turns to them and says, Ama alimtum annahum kulluhum kuhulan. They were not young people. They were old people. They were middle-aged people. They were not young. Says, but if that is the case, Ya Ibn Rasulullah, why as young people? He says, Allah referred to them as young people because of the vibrancy of the iman in their heart. ईमान इतना ताज़ा था उनके दिल में कि वलो जो है वो जिस्मानी तौर पे परवरदिगार देख रहा है कि ये पुराने और बुजुर्ग सालान है, लेकिन ईमान इतना जो है एक्टिव था, वाइब्रेंट था और फ्रेश था कि ईमान को देखकर परवरदिगार आलम ने उसको जो है फतह कहा। और यही कहता है छठा ईमान जो है कहता हुआ नजर आता है। इमाम फरमाते हैं कि जिसने भी ईमान लाया परवरदिगार आलम पर, and then he did taqwa in the eyes of God, he is a young person. And this is not something that is ordinary. Even in the Quran, you see several instances when the word is used not in the form that it is supposed to be used. और ये खुसूसियत है कुरान की. बुजुर्ग सालान को, somebody who is now middle age, is referred to as a young man. Because God is saying, I'm looking beyond the physical dimension. I'm looking at his heart. His heart is filled with iman that is so fresh, this person looks young to me. I will refer to him by Fatya. Many times Quran mein hai, Quran, the Prophet is turning to the mushrikeen and trying to convert them to Islam, to guide them towards Islam. At a certain point, Quran comes and says, stop, enough. إِنَّكَ لَا تُسْمِعُ الْمَوْتَى. You cannot make a person who is dead to hear. Ashab came and says, we don't understand this. You're talking to the mushrikeen. You're not talking to the people in the graveyard, in the cemetery. You're talking to the mushrikeen, but God is saying, إِنَّكَ لَا تُسْمِعُ الْمَوْتَى. You will not be able to make a dead listen to you. What is this? These are living people. The Prophet says God is not looking at their physical life. God is looking at their soul, not having the iman. Their soul is dead. If the soul is dead, if a person doesn't have iman in the eyes of God, this person is dead. He may be living, he may be walking, he may be eating, but this person is dead because his heart is dead. There is no iman. إِنَّكَ لَا تُسْمِعُ الْمَوْتَى. One example, where person is alive, God says you're dead. Over here, a person is middle-aged, God is saying he's young. One more example, then you will know how Quran uses the words to look at the reality of man. Reality of man is not this physique and biceps. ये जो लोग जिम में जाते हैं, 6 packs, 8 packs, पता नहीं कितने packs. That is not the reality of man. You may go for 40 years to have a physique like Anthony Joshua. It's going to go down. It's not going to last. What will last is the strength of the soul. Salatul Layl will give that strength. Fasting gives that strength. In the grave, the thing that will remain is the soul. You may be having 6 packs for 50 years, it goes down. The insects are going to eat it. You might as well spend half an hour standing for Salatul Layl to strengthen the soul that is going to remain in the grave, rather than spend 3 hours in a gym trying to build up biceps and 6-pack which is going to be eaten away by ants. People don't understand. Physical structure पर इतनी अहमियत कि वो खत्म होना ही है, बट जो चीज दायमन रहने वाली उसकी तरफ हमारी तवज्जो ही नहीं. Over here, another example, how Allah uses a certain word which is not to be used according to our criteria in a different meaning. One example, I know I'm exceeding time, but give me 2-3 minutes so that you understand कि ये जो है वो कैसे इस्तेमाल हुआ word फता और फितिया का on individuals who are middle-aged. God looks beyond the physics. He looks into the spirituality of an individual and looks at it. जब हजरत नूह का वाकया हुआ, when the flood of Hazrat Nuh came around, yeah? And Hazrat Nuh started calling people, Fala, Fala, Fala. When nothing worked out, eventually after 950 years, the time came. This has to finish off. When this had to finish off, the Prophet was told, on a certain date, the water will come out. The water will finish them off. The ark was made, the ship was made. God says, I'm going to take out the water from a place where water does not exist. रिवायत बताती है कि एक तन्नूर थी, where you make roti. Roti, तन्नूर, roti बनाई जाती. That is filled with fire, yeah? You don't expect water to come out from there. Quran says, وَفَارَ التَّنُّورُ. जो पानी को, which I'm going to use to flood and kill these obsolete people, I'm going to take it out from the very place they least expect it. A place which is filled with fire, I'm going to get the water to come out from there. वहां से पानी निकला, the floods came, फला फला, everybody started dying. This instant comes about. Hazrat Nuh is on the boat. His son, recalcitrant, stubborn. Hazrat Nuh says, come inside. Only those who come in the ark are going to be saved. He says, la, 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 I don't want to come. Sa'awa ilal jabalin ya'asimani minna. This is words of the Quran. Ayat padh raha. I will climb onto the mountains will save me from the fire. Sa'awa ilal jabalin. I will take refuge in the mountain. Ya'asimuni minanar. It will protect me from Ya'asimuni minal ma. It will protect me from the water. Nuh turns to him and says, La asim al yawm illa man rahima rabbah. Only one today whose rahmat of God overcomes him will be saved. This mountain is not going to save you. He says, Baba, you go and you're this thing, I'm going to go to the mountain. He climbs onto the mountain, the water keeps coming up. The ark keeps coming up. He goes to the top of the mountain, the ark rises. Now there is no mountain because the water has gone over the mountain. Now he's in the water. He's drowning. As he's drowning, वो बाप का प्यार है ना छलक उठा, उभर उठा. As soon as he saw his son drowning, he turns to God and says, Oh Allah, inna wa'adaka al-haq. Inna bni min ahli. Mera beta mera ahl hai. Inna bni min ahli. He's my ahl. Wa wa'adaka al-haq. Tera wa'da jo hai haq hai. God has said, I will protect you and your ahl. He says, Inna bni, my son is from my ahl. And you had promised me that you will save me and my ahl. Wa anta ahkamul hakimin. And you're the best of the judge. As soon as he recited this dua, because baap ka pyar chalak aaya, ubhar aaya, now he is not able to see his son drowning. That love, that pyar, that emotion comes out. He turns to God. You have promised me that you will save my ahl. This son is from my ahl. You're ahkamul hakimin. You're the best of the judge. Now judge him. As soon as he says this, the riwayat nahi hai, ayat Quran hai. Quran comes and says, Ya Nuh, be careful what you talk to me. Daat deta hai Parwardigar Alam Nuh ko. Be careful what you talk to me, Ya Nuh. Don't say things, ma laysa laka bihi ilm. The thing that you have no knowledge of, don't talk. You may be my Nabi, you may be my Ulul Azm, but if you don't know certain things, don't dare open your mouth in front of me. Don't say ma laysa laka bihi ilm. Then he says, you know what? Huwa laysa min ahlik. He may be your son, but he is not your ahl. Innahu ghayru salihin, amalu ghayru salihin. His actions are not salih. He may be your biological son. He may have come out of your own loins, but he is your son, but he is not your ahl. We consider him to be your son, yes. But my promise was, I will save your ahl. Ahl means somebody who's related to you, in which his ideology matches your ideology. His perception matches your perception. Your perception is tawheed. His perception is kufr. He may be your biological son, but he is not your ahl. Here there is somebody who's a biological extension of Nuh, but God says, I will not consider him to be part of you. But at the same time, in Islam, we've got an example where a person is not biologically related to the Holy Prophet, but he still comes and says, Salmanu minna ahlul bayt. Not related to the Prophet by means of body and soul, coming from a far worshipping family, but still he says, because your mindset matches mine, because your afkar matches mine, because your perceptions matches mine, you may not be related to me by blood, you may not be my son, but Salmanu minna ahlul bayt. There the son is said, you're not the ahl of a Nabi. You're a fire worshipper's son is said, you may not be from his loins, but we will still consider you to be the family. Ab samajh rahe meyar khuda ka. This is very important to understand. हमारा मेयार क्या क्या है, परवरदिगार आलम का मेयार क्या है. यहाँ जो है वो अफराद जो बुजुर्ग सालान है, middle aged है, God says, we're looking into their hearts. The iman is so fresh. We will call them youngsters and youths. What happens afterwards when we go into the Kaf? What du'as they do, inshallah, we will take it tomorrow. But tomorrow as we go further, inshallah, अब तक तो प्रॉमिस है कि जो है वो पूरी दास्तान इंशाल्लाह आपके सामने बताएंगे. तो आप जो है आते रहिएगा इंशाल्लाह. कल जो है आप सुनिएगा इंशाल्लाह. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us tawfiq to read the story, first of all, inshallah. And then to grant us ma'rifat of these very intricacies in the book of God, so that we increase in our iman and our muhabbat to Allah and to the Ahlul Bayt. رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ غَفَرَ اللَّهُ لَنَا وَلَكُمْ وَالْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ.
Assalamu alaikum ya Rasulullah, Assalamu alaikum ya Nabi Allah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. السلام عليك يا علي أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهرة سيدة النساء العالمين. السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى. السلام عليك يا حسين الشهيد. السلام عليك يا علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي. السلام عليك يا صاحب العصر والزمان. الأمان الأمان الأمان. السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن. السلام عليك يا إمام الإنس والجان. أجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله تعالى مخرجك وزهورك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.